Branson, Missouri, there is a 250-foot tall cross on 65 highway, and it lights up at the nighttime. You can see it. It's a gigantic cross. In Branson,
I think I've driven by it. It's on private
Branson,
property.
Missouri. Yeah, well, so what's funny is like that plot of land there is all part of the park system. All right, it's all owned by the Army Corps of Engineers, except for a tiny little 600 square foot patch that was bought up by the guy who owns Silver Dollar City, so he could put that cross there and everybody could see it.
Yeah.
Base.
You know what I say to that fella? Bless his heart.
Yeah. But yeah, the family that owns Silver Dollar City owns like most of Branson, the entire strip. They own all the shows, the theaters, the restaurants, and they're like stupid fucking rich, but they're also like super fundy Christians. And so you see, it's all like, basically Branson is Disneyland for the Westboro Baptist Church.
That sounds terrifying.
It's actually pretty fun. I mean, nowadays the religious overtones. Right around like Christmas, the religious iconography gets really amped up. But during most of the year, like there's not a whole lot of like religious stuff unless you specifically go to the shows and theaters and stuff that do that kind of stuff. Like the Grand Jubilee, for instance, it's basically the Christian version of the Grand Ole Opry.
I slow clap anytime somebody wants to do their shit. If you want to put up a 600-foot cross, or if you want to put up a yarmulke, you want to put or not a yarmulke,
yarmulke,
Star of David,
the fucking the 11 candles,
the menorah,
you want to have a celebration of whatever you're into.
Flute.
Go right ahead. I don't care. Have a ball.
At least the menorah would have use. You could light candles on it.
Hey, colanders have use. Strange stuff.
I went to Vienna once in the winter. It was in December. I went there by myself, and Christmas comes from Vienna. I need you to understand this. I went to a winter festival. These guys celebrate Christmas in a way that puts us to shame.
Oh yeah.
You just now learned that
German
Christmas is a pagan holiday.
The Austrian people, they're all like mad hardcore on Christmas.
Oh, they nail it. I mean, it's a little gaudy here in the U.S. They are so classy about it. It's fucking beautiful.
Yeah. Christmas is pagan as fuck, dude.
Yeah, no, dude. Wait, hold on. No, Saturnalia is explicitly very different. Other than the gift giving, it's explicitly very different.
I once went on a date with a woman between my first marriage and my second marriage, and she was Jewish, and we were talking, and she was like, "Yeah, my kids just want to celebrate Christmas," and I was like, "Then celebrate Christmas," and she was like, "So what? I'm supposed to put up a Christmas tree?" And I'm like, "Do you really think a Christmas tree is all that like Christian? Like the kids just want to? It's a capitalist holiday. What are we doing? It's not like you're worshiping Jesus as somebody who zaps stuff. If the kids want to have Christmas, have Christmas." And her ex-husband was Christian. And she was like, "No, it would be an insult to my Judaic religion." And this was the last date that we ever had.
No fun allowed.
Yeah. Oh, so
even
on
as a
Christmas
Jew...
morning, you can't like buy shit from Target.
Hey, come on, guys. Someone's got to be the whore, and Mary, well, is that whore?
Pantera, my guy. Julius Abdi's Pantera. I wonder what happened.
Look, there's no magical ability for some virgin to get pregnant, okay? She's not a whip-tailed lizard.
I think a husband wasn't having sex, someone happened to be married. Something's a little...
You can celebrate Christmas without celebrating the virgin birth.
Obviously, I know, dude. I'm a Jew and I've celebrated Christmas. It's not like that crazy.
Don't worry, we can tell.
Don't be so uptight. Yeah, just celebrate Christmas. It's fine. Yeah.
Don't tell that to the New York Orthodox Jews though. They'll get all mad.
Or Ben Shapiro. He'll freak the fuck out.
Do you like this? Do you like this painting I found?
No, I hate it.
Where?
In the speakeasy.
Better have some traps in it.
Here's another beautiful picture.
What the Christians that like try to make hay about atheists celebrating Christmas? Like, bitch, this is ours.
Is this just a funny happy merchant thing?
They lost. It was
buddy.
I've been an atheist since I was 12 years.
Bro, you're
atheist
very
since I was
clever
4, but
putting the happy merchant in something. You're so very clever. I hope you know
It's
that.
interesting.
I assume that's what it was.
Luca,
Serious people are talking. Please let's just
Luca
stay
has
ready.
like a master's in art, and it took him
Kappa,
a second to
I'm-
find
look.
the flowers.
Kappa, you know that I'm usually like I've been pretty lax about this kind of thing. You know, I like to have a sense of humor and everything, but like I don't think now's the time to be making those kind of jokes.
Like, we're having a serious conversation. Let's just stay here.
No, I mean like this, this time, like where we are in like the Overton window.
Yeah, that whole thing too.
Where a protected class of citizens uses their absolute authority to get what they need. What?
Bro, you're just soy raging because you can't use like a caricature.
Yeah, I mean, just
Who's soy raging?
A Kappa, whatever the fuck his name is.
I don't think Kappa's soy raging. Kappa's a friend. Like I don't think he's. I'm not
Yes,
mad
I
at
wonder.
him. Like,
I wonder
and I
what he's
think-
posting
and
in
I
Speakeasy. I wonder.
And I legitimately think the meme that he posted is funny. I just think that now's not the time. That's all.
I found you some tampons to use, buddy.
Who, me?
No, Titus.
He's
Okay, I
mad
was
at me
gonna say,
because I
wait a
told him
minute,
to
I-
soy rage. Here's someone's a Jew, immediately gets aggravated. That's how you know someone's rent free.
Who's aggravated?
We were having a whole conversation, and then you wanted to take it over, and now you've lost. And now we've all lost the thread. So congratulations. You
What
did
we're
a
talking
good
about
job.
like the
Thank you.
celebration of Christmas as non-religious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Yeah.
Now
I
we
think
can't
the
talk
only
about it
reason
anymore.
that
I mean, it's
way-
completely valid. I mean, it's 100% valid to just say like, "Oh yeah, I celebrate Christmas."
It is, and I think the only reason that it actually like became a non-Christian thing, became like just an everyone thing, is because it got commercialized.
Can you get your
Fox,
mic
you're really
far away from
low
your mouth
volume.
right now?
Fox, you're really low volume.
Does it sound better?
Apparently.
It's like I'm almost eating it now.
Got deep throat that motherfucker.
No, I'm eating it. This is what eating it sounds like. What you sound like is
Oh, well, did you
Am
say
I
that to those
eating it
black
now?
guys?
Is this
Did
eating it
we-
enough?
You know, I'm still not completely convinced that Wolf Z isn't a concrete plus alt account.
It's real.
Don't be like
I'll be honest, I've never
Oh,
met concrete.
well, I guess it's confirmed that Xerxes is a racist.
Well, if you're basically just concrete on meds.
Wolves, he's a nice boy. He just gets bored easily. Just refill.
I don't even understand the comparison.
I mean,
Literally,
like, look,
the
there's a
only
lot of racist
common
white people on this
In
server.
color.
no, the only common factor between concrete and wolf is that they're black. Everything else
In
about
color.
the two is different.
Like, do I call people bitches and motherfuckers like almost instantly? Like, am I fucking banned from multiple fucking
Like
chat rooms
concrete.
on the server?
No, they sound exactly the same. Like their voices.
Yeah.
I don't at all.
I don't even.
No way.
I don't even think their
Concrete is
Well,
much
okay,
more
okay,
higher
okay,
pitched.
come up here.
I don't even think their voices sound the same.
They're
This
much
is
higher
just a
pitched.
classic
I'm
This
not
is just
surprised that
classic
like
Caucasian
former 12
can't
fucking
tell
thinks
black
I'm
people apart
fucking
game.
disabled. You saying,
Like-
Seth?
It's just so annoying because they sound different. Like the way they act, their general demeanor is different. Like their personalities and like political outlooks are different. Literally, the only similarity between these two people is that they're both black.
What is with the need for you guys to just concern troll all the time? Very
Not even a
weird.
concern.
Wait,
It's
how
not
is
even a
that
concern
concern?
troll.
No, this is so retarded.
No. Seriously,
Why are
this
you
isn't
worried
even a
about
concern
it?
troll. It's been a
Dan,
matter.
hold on,
It's been
stop.
a
Why
issue
are you
for
worried
months.
about who's
Stop.
black and who's
Hold on a
Jewish?
second.
and
Hold on.
atheist? I
Hold
really
on.
don't get
Hold
it.
on.
Well,
Hold
no,
on
I'm
one
not going
second.
to hold on because you guys are talking over each other.
I've been trying.
So
Look, I've been
either
trying to
one
respond
person's
for a
gonna
minute.
talk at
Do
a
you
time,
mind?
and we're going to talk
Well,
about
now
one
you
thing.
two
I'll
are
just
talking
talk
over
over
each
all
other.
of you guys.
3 seconds.
Because this
My
is
entire
cool.
dorm
I've literally been saying, hold
I
on
need
a
to start
second for a
talking over
minute,
all
and
of you
then
guys. My bad.
look.
This
Sam,
is so
like,
obnoxious.
I just don't understand how somebody can call this concern trolling. Xerxes said
One
something
person
ridiculous.
talk at a time,
Sam said,
and then the next person talks, and
Why are you
hopefully we have
talking?
one subject that we're discussing.
Tim,
one person was
It's not
talking.
hard.
please,
Shit.
Tim, please just let Seth go, man. It's not a big deal. Please, just let him go.
I just
How about you
don't
let Tim
understand.
talk?
Fucking hell.
Vox,
What the fuck is
Vox,
wrong with you
please let Seth go. Seth, go.
It's not even a really
Hey,
big
stop
point.
interrupting Seth.
Oh my god, come on, Kappa.
Yeah.
It's not even funny, dude. It literally isn't funny.
It's a little funny. Look, I just don't understand how anyone can call that concern trolling. Like, Sam thinks that what Xerxes said was dumb. He chimed in and said, hey, that's dumb. They don't sound anything the same. And you call that concern trolling? That's weird.
Yeah, I mean, it would seem very weird to assume that the statement I made wasn't genuine.
If we can all put our junk away, I had a Christmas question, but are we
Wonderful.
Sure, what's the Christmas question?
Did we go over if there's, let's just say, a city? Make it your city for the sake of argument. If someone gets butthurt from a cultural or religious angle that they go, hey, take down the nativity scene or take down the Hanukkah scene, I'm of the philosophy where it should be inverse. If you believe in something different than the traditional Christian, they're taking Christ out of Christianity nonsense, you should have all sorts of different displays of all sorts of different religions. Isn't that like the pro-holiday argument? Is there anyone
Well, first and foremost, I would say that Christ was never in fucking Christmas. Right? You really only ever see nativity scenes outside of churches, and who fucking cares what churches do on their own property?
But Xerxes, the cultural value of what the church did to the pagans over 500 years ago by co-opting the paganist thing because the Christians were getting butthurt, so they made Christ born on Christmas Day, and they
I don't really care about that.
Well, they manufactured that shit. My point is, I don't care about
All
it.
religions are like every religious belief, every fucking holiday is manufactured. I don't care. I get to take off work and engage in some mindless consumerism and drink funny eggnog and eat food, and that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, do you think Xerxes cares about Juneteenth as anything other than a way to get out of work?
No, I'm on Xerxes' side here where I don't give a passionate fuck about the nativity scene.
I don't care at all.
I want to know if there's any constructive point where if anyone's whining about keep the Christ in Christianity, which we know is a falsehood given the history of the paganism shit, everyone knows that. Is there a way to end this conversation or solve it, or are we gonna fight over this for the next 20 years?
These are the kind of people who get mad at the red Starbucks cup.
Andy, we've been doing it for 3,000 years.
This is some like Josh Feuerstein level argumentation. Like I very rarely hear Christians getting upset anymore about like the dilution of Christmas. I do understand kind of like the language policing. If I say Merry Christmas and somebody gets mad at me for that, I'm gonna get, I'm gonna become obstinate right back because I say fucking Merry Christmas. If you want to say Happy Holidays, go ahead. I'm not gonna tell you what to say, and you're not gonna tell me what to say. I'm gonna say fucking Merry Christmas.
Sure. No, I'm the inverse, where if someone says Merry Christmas to me and someone gets offended, I say Happy Hanukkah, and they go, oh, but that's not Christian. I'm like, yeah, but Hanukkah's at the same fucking time. You want to throw down religiously?
It depends.
Right?
Happy Chris Mahana Kwanzaa.
Exactly.
Oh, by the way, Xerxes, you want to know what I got as a Hanukkah present?
What did you get?
15K check, baby.
Good for you.
Hey, Boomer.
I think we've moved past this a little bit.
112.
I think there was an argument for 15 years
200
ago.
201, Xerxes.
No.
201.
I think we got
only
past
200 years.
I think we got past this about 15 years ago, where people said, "You're not allowed to say Merry Christmas."
Yeah, I haven't even heard that. Like,
well, it's
I haven't heard that in a while.
Nonsense is what that is.
And then if somebody wants to say to me Happy Hanukkah, I'm not done yet. Please just give me a minute and then I'll shut up for a minute. And then if somebody says to me, hey, Merry Christmas and also Happy Hanukkah, if they're Jewish, and I go, oh, and Happy Hanukkah to you too. That's all.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Very simple. Well, nobody celebrates Kwanzaa. But yeah,
Kwanzaa's not even a real fucking holiday.
Well,
Always tell all of your Muslim friends
none of
to
them are real
celebrate
holidays.
Kwanzaa.
To be fair, that's how I feel about it, Tim. But I also understand that it's kind of more complicated than that, because for a lot of religious people, like, they view celebrating another religious party's holidays as like basically denigrating their own beliefs in the sense that
they can go,
then don't fucking
think
celebrate it. It's not.
And
for
that
you.
has been the Sam the Lefty Minute.
No, but the point is, no, they don't have to celebrate. But the idea is, like, I absolutely understand why a religious person might say something like, "Look, I don't want to like say Merry Christmas," or I don't think they should have the right to like police other people doing it. But like, I get it, man. You know.
Yeah, but that largely doesn't even happen.
Jehovah's Witnesses, if I say Merry Christmas to them, they would say, "Thanks."
No, I'm not saying all religious people are like that. I'm just saying many are.
Yeah, to the extent. Yeah.
But I think
how fucking narcissistic do you have to be to demand that every fucking social setting capitulate to what you prefer?
That's not what they're doing, though.
Yeah, that's
what everyone wants.
That's incredible. That's incredibly rare. Like in the lead up to this whole fucking idea about like say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. One of the first years this happened, the talking went mainstream, right? Sam Cedar went on like CNN or something, and Sam Cedar's a fucking big ass lefty, and would propose this question. He said, "I don't care what people say. I really don't care. Like people aren't policing this like you think. It's an extremely rare set of people who are like generally like brain dead lefties who say this. It's almost non-existent."
Right. I agree.
When did Seth
hold on, but we're forgetting
being a lefty.
Wait. We're forgetting one of like the greatest fucking microcosms of Christian persecution complex that ever graced the U.S. media, and that was in 2017 when that bat fuck Joshua Feuerstein got up on whatever it was, Vine at the time, and complained about the fact that Starbucks cup was just red and didn't have any Christmas decorations on it.
Oh boy.
They didn't have Santa Claus and reindeer on it, so it was a direct attack on Christianity.
And he made that really cringy video.
You go into Starbucks and tell them your name is.
He made that really cringy video. Yeah. When I made that really cringy video when he went to Starbucks, and as a protest, ordered a latte. Like, oh, you fucking hurt me! But said that his name was Merry Christmas, so they had to say Merry Christmas.
Sam Cedar did this.
Yeah, no, this is like such an irrelevant, like quote unquote culture war thing.
Because I could probably pick Sam Cedar's religion if I had to.
Like anybody who's thought about this for 5 seconds and still been confused about, well, how should I wish people a happy holiday? Like it's a fucking moron.
I don't get why people are mad about happy holidays. It's overtly a religious term.
People largely are. People largely are. It's a very, very small subset of like Christian fundamentalists who think that, you know, Christianity should be like the like official religion of the United States.
Like Mr. Batman.
Yeah. Very rare.
I don't think it's a small number of people, because lots of people in the United States want this to be a white Christian country.
Here's my intuition. My intuition is there's far more people that get offended by Happy Holidays than get offended by Merry Christmas.
Yes.
I think the right gets more butthurt than the left does about this whole thing, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Well, it's usually the religious right.
Yeah.
What happens is the right wing will like compromise on everything and then get really fucking uppity on the little shit. You know, like the big things, fuck, we'll give into that, we'll give into this, we'll give into that. And then the little things start encroaching into that, you know, you can't. Got to draw the line in the sand at Starbucks cups. It's where I'm drawing the fucking line in the sand.
Like I also wouldn't be offended, and I couldn't imagine being offended, like growing up in New York and like in a Jewish area of New York, and getting offended if I left a shop and somebody said Happy Hanukkah to me. Like,
yeah, happy Hanukkah to you too.
Yeah, Happy Hanukkah. Yeah, great. Yeah.
I don't know. Have you guys ever felt like some people get upset when someone says like "Have a blessed day"? I think that some people get like a little upset about that.
Absolutely not. Well, it depends. Like if I'm arguing with somebody about like God and they end the conversation with "God bless, I'll be praying for you," that's one thing. But like if like somebody I work with,
I just mean like a general like
I'm like, oh, bless your
I just
heart.
mean like someone, like they're clearly just trying to be nice to you.
No. Hold on. There's context that's missing there, because normally when I hear you have a blessed day, they're being sarcastic, like they're saying it in like a super negative way.
Well, I'm talking sincerity. I'm just saying like someone sees you, like you have like an interaction with someone, they say like "Have a blessed day."
Yeah, that almost never happens.
I live
in the South. Yeah,
I love
that's
it when
usually a negative thing.
I live for Southern accented women telling me God bless.
It's like that.
Okay, I got a butt in here. So outside of the United States, I've had African people say to me, "God bless you," and they mean it genuinely. And I have said back to them, "You have a blessed day too," even though I know it's a bunch of superstitious nonsense and I don't believe in God. I just said
It's
it back
just
to them
common
to be
courtesy.
polite. Yes, it's common courtesy.
It can be common courtesy.
For all I know, they're
Like, I was thinking about that earlier today because I remember
why are we all
someone
sitting here listening to Jason Bateman lecture us on social etiquette?
Jason Bateman knows a lot about social etiquette. He's a very, very nice guy.
I don't know, Jason Bateman. What are we?
And I was just thinking about that earlier today, just for the simple fact that like some people like to change their speech just to, like so they don't say like "God bless you" when someone sneezes or like
Hey,
you know, "Oh my God."
Seth, I need your
Like they'll
social
say-
commentary on this image in Speakeasy.
Hold on. Oh God, is it the fucking merchant?
Again,
U.S. women's team to receive half of money won by men's team at World Cup.
bruh.
There's a reason.
You put out the source.
Hey, more Clown World microcosms.
Oh, I love the Broly one. AR.
Wait,
Why
what's this from?
doesn't the
What?
women's NBA make as much money as the men's NBA? That's what I would like to know.
Because nobody
Because
fucking
they have
watches
less
women's
fans.
sports.
Kappa.
Why- why-
What side
Hold
is
on,
this
how
from?
did this ever become a fucking debate? How did
I'll be fine.
anybody ever hear this complaint and go, "Yeah, that's legitimate. Let's take that into consideration." No,
Yeah, it's just-
nobody fucking watches female sports.
Yeah, I thought you were trolling for a second, but like I hate it when this talking point comes up because it's almost like people forget like how markets and commercial and capitalism and like just how money is made. Like these sporting events make their money from advertisers, sponsors, and viewers. If
And
people
ads as
I mean,
well.
don't,
it's like
TV
minor
contract.
league versus major league baseball.
yeah,
payments.
your sport, brings in less eyes, has less advertisement and sponsorship money, you're gonna make less money. It's unreasonable to expect that you would make as much money.
Nobody's
let's,
denying this in here, right?
While we're at it, let's go in.
I will disagree with that. I think women's minor league baseball should make as much as the New York Yankees.
Sam, I respect you. What
and at
fuck
the
are you
same
talking
time,
about?
competitive
I mean,
chess should make as much as the NFL.
Well,
Yes,
I'll
that, but
I'll ironically say that it would be great if they did, but it turns out that they don't, and it's for market reasons, not because they're
Hans
because
Niemann
people
deserves
are
it for putting fucking vibrators
No,
up his
just
ass.
where would the money come from? Like, you have to think like logistically how this would fucking work. The reason why these large sport leagues have money to pay these people millions is because they get it from sponsorship and ad contracts. Where the fuck would a
I'll
minor
tell
league
you-
baseball
I'll-
team get this money?
I can't tell you where they'll get the money. I guess from the same ether that they get it from for all the welfare programs. But I can tell you that the delusion that the delusion originates from the idea that these people are athletes. They're not. They're entertainers. And if we would start calling them that, they would understand that their paycheck is directly proportional to how entertaining they are.
I mean, you just say that athletics is a form of entertainment.
Yes, that's all it is. It's literally all it is.
Yeah, absolutely is entertainment.
Bill
Burr had the finest point on this, and he was
Nobody makes money from being athletic. They make money from entertaining people. I don't care how fast Tyreek Hill can run, but how fast he can run with the football when he's running for the Chiefs. Of course, he's been traded, but when he was, now I care, and I want him to be paid a lot, so he'll run for that football when he's playing for the Chiefs.
I think a lot of manual labor, you get paid proportionate to how efficient you are.
Yes,
that involves athleticism.
Let me say one thing. If women supported women's basketball, women's basketball would be doing just fine. But women don't want to show up to women's basketball.
No, who the fuck wants to watch women's basketball?
Fucking not
Exactly.
women.
You know what I will watch? I'll watch women's hockey because they go at it. Okay. There's not a big there's not a big like women's hockey league in general, but it's as entertaining as male hockey. It's just not as popular.
We all largely agree with this. Can we talk about something a little more contentious?
So apparently the cut that they're going to be taking from the World Cup,
oh my God,
is more than both of the previous tournament, like women's tournaments combined.
That's funny.
Women's soccer does
all the male soccer players should all just not
Kappa, what's
play.
the site you got that from?
So I posted it from Twitter. So this is from the joint statement from the U.S. Soccer and U.S. WNT players settlement agreement from the U.S. soccer team.
The women's soccer team signed a contract, and they said we're going to take a flat rate instead of TV ratings, and then they made less money because they bet against themselves, and they made less money, and then they said, "What the fuck? Why do we make less money? You signed the fucking contract."
Correct.
It's a statement from the U.S. soccer organization on Twitter.
And then they got more money.
Tim is correct.
It's back from February this year, and they're just
what's the
reporting on it
justification for this? What's the justification for this? Why are they getting this money?
now. This is a joint statement for equal pay.
Who on the men's team agreed?
2, you get 40. 2, you get 40.
Well, of course the men's team agreed. What are they going to disagree?
Well, I'm asking who agreed.
That would be social suicide to disagree.
Yeah.
They'd be kicked off the team. Remember when that the women's soccer star was like a domestic abuser and arguably sexual assaultist, and then she was like nothing happened to her for the longest time.
Yes.
But then as soon as like nudes of hers dropped, the whole all of like news media went to a frenzy about how bad it is. Like revenge porn's bad.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Oh, what was that soccer player's name? Hope something?
Yeah, she was a goalie. It was like Lana Strong or something.
Yeah, something like that,
La, some ass thing. Yeah. Yeah, she was, but domestic abuse in lesbian couples is actually incredibly high. And nobody talks about that because that's uncomfortable.
People talk about it. I've heard that.
Yeah, I've heard it too, but like it's not
like in public.
It's not like
talk about it in the abscesses of the internet. Jesus Christ! Like, it's so annoying whenever like somebody brings up a controversial topic, something that's kind of taboo to discuss, and then you're like, yeah, people don't really talk about that all that much. Well, I've heard people talk about it. Yeah, we're all fucking diodes on the internet. That's literally what we do. We sit here in chat rooms and we talk about controversial topics. Oh, that's just nonsense. Yes, people on the internet people on the internet under the veil of anonymity will talk about fucking anything. People in the mainstream don't talk about this shit. They have like ascriptive opinions they're allowed to have, and that's all you ever hear.
I don't know why you're getting
lesbian couples are
let me
still
respond to
brave.
that. Can I respond to it?
Do.
Look, I don't know why you're getting so upset. I'm not saying that it's talked about in mainstream media all the time. I'm just exploring the reaches of how it's talked about, if at all, right? The statement "it's never talked about" is vague. Now I have a little bit better of an idea. It's talked about here, not so much on CNN.
If I may, Tim was bringing up a point on how the legal team represented the women's versus men's team and how the women were butthurt because the men were traditionally making a fuckload more money, as they should due to marketing, eyeballs, athleticism, blah 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 blah. We all know those concepts. So they got their contract rewritten to make a shitload more, and then the men got pissed and they went, "We want that contract." So either way, the women got to choose: do they want their contract or the men's contract? In either way, the men are going to make more money because the women got better deals, better sponsorship. They were not given like royalties or like a blank, let's say.
Wait, are you talking about the benefits thing?
Well, no, but hang on. Let Andy finish.
Right. Yeah, there was a contrast between the benefits. There's a contrast between the sponsorship. So it is not talked about because the headline is provocative because it's like, oh, women paid less, but actually the women bumblefucked their own contract. And if you dig deeper, you can see how the lawyers set this shit up. This was used as a lesson to teach all of women athletic sports going forward since I believe 2019 that you have to fucking understand how contracts are organized for, especially if things get more woke, more progressive. Going forward, let's say you're 2030 and the women are getting screwed on the curling team because they're getting shafted. This case of the women's football league is going to be used as a cited example on how to restructure contracts.
They weren't getting screwed, though. They weren't getting screwed.
Didn't they have more benefits than the men?
Yeah. Yes, the women get better benefits than the men by a lot.
They chose a flat rate instead of taking a slice of the TV contracts and everything else. They took the minimum, and the men said, if we suck, then we don't make any money. And the women took the flat money.
Maybe I should identify as a woman and then sue YouTube to pay me the same amount as Mr. Beast.
I remember what he's talking about, and look, I agree that they voluntarily
That'll solve a lot of
agreed
my
to
financial
the
problems.
deal. But what basically ended up happening is that they made so much less money as a result. Like they could have predicted that. Basically, they made like a really bad gambit.
They bitched
Well,
about it.
they ended up doing very well in the last World Cup. So yeah, they would have been wiser betting on themselves, and they bet against themselves, and they made less money.
No, it's not even just that. Even before the World Cup win, like this was the thing that was going on for a while.
Correct.
Like basically, they really made a bad fucking gambit. Like they should have never accepted that contract. It included a lot of provisions that were not in their best interest. But again,
accepted is a term I will quibble with. They negotiated for this, and this was what they landed on. They arbitrated this contract.
yeah, of course they did. Well, no, all we're saying is that when it was said and done, they got a raw deal, homie. That's it.
Because of them, because they chose to bet against themselves, and the men's team chose to bet on themselves.
I'm going to post the legal answer in the speakeasy to settle this, so we can move on to a more productive conversation.
Well, we can do that right now.
Yeah.
I doubt it, but we'll see.
What's a more productive conversation, Andy?
Oh, I'm sorry, a lawyer's perspective or a fucking message on Twitter? I don't know. Gosh golly, let me roll the dice.
Andy,
Hey, old school.
You didn't ask if the tweet was a Twitter lawyer. Hold from ball.
Hey, I know something is more productive than that last discussion. Earth shape, not.
Is that actually Sydney Winston?
No, that is.
Maybe.
Did I hear him? Did you say maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
That's Sydney Winston. Hi, how you doing, buddy?
Okay, who am I talking to?
Seth.
Who?
It is time to
Seth,
say
you probably don't
the
remember me.
N-word.
It's been a while.
Seth. Oh, I do remember you, Seth. I'm doing well. Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear it.
You were Seth and Meg, I believe, or...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Try not to say my wife's name on here, but...
No, it was two characters I remember from way back when. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
It's only been saved for all time on a hard drive somewhere.
Yeah, try not to mention
in
our
China,
wife, please.
Well, so excited to see Seth again.
Yeah, it's good to see you with Sydney.
Yeah. Likewise.
Wait, what's your wife's name?
Jessica.
Jessica. I was going to say Susan.
Agatha.
Agatha. Oh, that's.
I thought it was Susan.
It's Mary
Mine's
Sue.
Susan too. This is very weird.
It's like we all have the same wife.
Wait, we're all married to Susan.
Wait, you're all polygamous?
If I could do it again, I'd probably I'd find a girl with two first names.
We're in a reverse harem.
Ah,
gross. All levels.
It's only gross because you're left out.
No, I got a woman all to myself. I'm good.
If I get a woman with 8 boyfriends, you guys can have her.
Yeah, imagine not having 7 boyfriends and a girlfriend. So you're looking at it all wrong. You never have to fix your car. You never have to fix your sink. You don't have to worry about bills being paid on time, et cetera, et cetera. It's just great. What do you mean?
Why? Is there a problem with your girlfriend having a boyfriend?
I'm not even going to answer that one.
Well, 2 sex partners for you, you know.
I'm gonna butcher this, so I'm not even gonna try to make it really good. But it's like that joke. The guy picks up the guy's.
You say your thing, and then I'm gonna say another thing.
Guy's golfing or something. He picks up a phone and it's ringing on the golf cart, and he answers it, and it's some dude, and he's like, "Where's You know what? I already butchered it. Forget it.
I once had a girlfriend.
I can't.
And
do it.
I
Sorry,
shouldn't have gone out with this girl. And we were out at a bar in the city of Boston. And she like started talking to a couple of guys while I was playing pool. And she was like, "Do you mind if I take one of these guys home?" And I said, "If I can pack him into the trunk with a sledgehammer, what the fuck are you talking about? No. What are you, crazy?" And she literally thought that I would be okay with her like being poly or something and dating and fucking other dudes and picking guys up from a bar. What a fucking huge mistake that was.
Why wouldn't you just say, "Yeah, go ahead, but like lose my number"?
Because we lived in the same house.
Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, yeah. It's like I've been in that situation. I've taken out a girl and she started talking to other guy, and I was like, "Hey, you do whatever you want, but like lose my number."
Oh yeah,
Hey,
yeah. No. If
you know
you're,
what really works good though?
I've had experience like dating, like just going on a date with somebody.
Hey,
But she was like, I once went on a date with a girl who was like, and I'm an okay guy. There was a bouncer at the bar that was like 6'7", and she was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about asking that guy out." And I was like, "Okay, this is our last date. Goodbye." And I got up and left.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to sing my praises here, but like, I had a career, like a serious career and everything else, and she was like, "If you want to date some gorilla who's working the door or me, I'm not gonna compete. You have a ball with that fucking bouncer who probably can't add to 3, and have a ball."
I just don't understand why a person would even think that makes sense without even talking about it beforehand.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, I hope I
just
win.
drop,
I hope
like,
I
yeah,
win the
I wanna go out with
competition.
that guy, but you're already going out with me. Wait, what?
Yeah, we're on a date. Yeah, great. I already know. I don't care who wins. What, I'm gonna win against that guy, and then what? We're gonna date for a year and a half, and then you're gonna be like, "Oh well, I don't know. The guy who dropped off my dry cleaning seems very nice, so I'll just break up with you and go out with him." I'm like,
You all need to listen to the old Tom Likas radio show. All of y'all.
I've been meaning to check that out. I feel like I would love that shit. Basically.
Bro needs to listen to it more than anybody. Bro needs it so bad.
I don't even know what the fuck that is, to be honest.
Yeah, nobody does. I feel like he is such a better role model for like men than like Jordan Peterson. Yeah, Sydney.
Yeah.
I don't know if you like Tom Likas or not.
I
but
did. I
tell about Tom
remember
Likas.
liking him. Yeah, I forget what he said, but I remember liking him.
Link me something.
There must be an
Go on
indication
YouTube and type in Tom Likas. Find the old. There's a playlist on YouTube. It comes up if you type in Tom Likas of like all his old radio shows on AM radio in Southern California, and they're fantastic. Fantastic advice for young men who want to get laid.
How many people in here know who he's talking about without using Google?
0.
Or other search engines.
One.
I don't know.
All right, one. We got one.
What Sam does, but because I mentioned it to Sam before.
How about old school?
What's the advice? What's the advice?
You know what it is?
I mean, where to start? Don't have girlfriends. I mean, unless you want to like settle down right now. If you want to bang, you want to have as much fun as possible. Don't have girlfriends. Have girls that you know and will have booty calls. Basically, that's I mean, kind of obvious, but there's one that he hammered on a lot. And he didn't let like guys call in and give excuses. Guys would call in their 20s, 20, 21, 22, and say, "Oh, so I have this girlfriend." He's like, "Hey, what did I say?" And he's like, "Yeah, I know, I shouldn't." Like, "Yeah, look, you got to break up with her. She's not your girlfriend. You want to go get laid. You got to be free to like take any opportunity that comes up."
Hey, even if you get to go hang out with the girl that's got the boyfriend, maybe the boyfriend would be the second set of sex for the night.
Thank you, God, for 20, always with the valuable contributions.
He also talked about not the last one I listened to. I was listening to some old radio shows. So I recommended it to Bro, so I went back and I listened to some, and he was talking about how Women don't want men who are like looking for women. So like, do your own thing. Don't go to the bar thinking like trying to pick a woman. Go to the bar to people watch. Order whatever the fuck you want. Go alone. Dress nice, but not like, don't go crazy, and just hang out at the bar and with every intention to just people watch.
I agree with that. Every time I picked up women, I would go to an adult, like a bar where adults go, not like the teenage bar. Go to like the nice bar where people get fancy drinks in the middle of the city, and go from 5 p.m. when everybody gets out of work until 6 p.m. And if you meet a girl, get her phone number, and then call her a day or two later, and then maybe you go out, and maybe you're seeing each other, meaning you're exclusive in some way, or hopefully exclusive in some way, or you go out and you fuck around 3 or 4 times, or you fuck around for a few months. But yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with a man looking for a woman to marry. You don't find her at the bar, but go ahead.
He also did kind of hokey. He also did hokey like radio show stuff. Like the last episode I watched also had it was no men were allowed to call, only women who are friends of women who know something about their friend that their boyfriend doesn't know about that he should know about.
Like what?
Like she cheated on like with somebody when they went to Vegas, that kind of shit.
I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but like, have you ever had like a couple girls at the same time?
Yeah.
That'll happen, and women will do that too, and I understand. That's not to say that all women are trash, because all men would have to be trash too.
But why would the tendency for being trash necessarily be equal? Presumably, it's possible for just some circumstance to arise such that, on average, men are shittier than women, or women are shittier than men, right?
As a matter of fact, it should work out that way.
Why do you say it's trashy? I don't get that. Why is it trashy?
Well, I don't
No,
think you said
sometimes
anything
when we're all young, we all run around with other people, and then we understand that we're not all telling the truth.
I mean, what's trashy about it?
If I'm being dishonest, or if I'm being incomplete in my speech, lies of omission are still lies.
You're talking about menage a trois. It's not trashy, right?
Well, a menage a trois is a very beautiful thing.
Is that Tom?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dumb.
shit.
No, menage a trois, that's the whole thing. But like, if I'm dating a girl and I'm also dating another girl, and I'm not admitting this, and the girl is also dating somebody else, these are lies of omission. But who is really harmed? And that's okay, as long as we all understand that, I can't quite trust you because we're not exclusive. If I say to a girl, "Are we exclusive?" then we're exclusive.
But it's a kink, right?
So what?
Kink.
Kink? It being exclusive?
Well,
Going steady with a girl.
Some people get off on an argument.
Is a kink?
No, right? Would you say a menage a trois is a kink?
Well, that's a 3-way. That has nothing to do with going steady with a girl.
Going steady. My God.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Necking.
And necking.
The ancient words of courtship.
Oh my God, these are the words my fucking stepmom used to.
Well, I felt like I was talking to an older man, and that's the word. But like for me, it would be like, "Are you my girlfriend, or are we exclusive?" That's the same as going.
Hey, dear, do you want to go back and make whoopee?
You want to shack up a little bit? Like, I can do this all day. I once got jumped by 4 black guys. A lot of people don't know this.
Throw into that meme now.
Yeah. So, dude, have you ever
did you-
had a girlfriend who you felt like you could trust?
How did you get jumped by 4 black guys?
Yeah,
As
and
a
I
suburban
immediately
white
got
guy, and
fucking
then didn't develop the
disappointed.
habit of saying the N word is the real question.
I actually didn't, but this guy loves to continue to tell the joke because I told the story.
I'm playing into the joke.
I once got in a fight with the Philadelphia 76ers. This is a true story. Joel Embiid had a meniscus tear, so it was only 4 of them. Thank God.
And they were light
Is this
skinned.
wait, are you? This happened to you, or like this Seinfeld? Like,
No, this never happened. But I got jumped by four white guys when I was 14 years old, and there's an old story. And this guy just follows me around, and now I have to lean into the joke.
I got jumped by
Oh
the.
yeah, I follow him around. Yeah, dude. That night, somebody fucking trolled the room by saying bullying is a good thing, and Tim wanted to be super dad, wanted to come in saying like, "Oh, you guys are for bullying." I swear to God, Sam tried his damnedest to fucking like to show that like we weren't for bullying. That Salvatore was just saying that stupid shit just to fuck with people, and he was so committed to his position of being super dad, saying I defend my children against bullying all the time. That at some point we just humored him and said, you know what, fuck it, we're for bullying.
I love my kids so much. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
And then we got really bored and just started saying the N-word like a lot.
I love your retelling of this story because I doubt I leaned into this for more than like 5 minutes at max, probably 2 minutes, and then you took it to mean like I'm going to be super dad against bullying, which I am against bullying.
Yeah, but it was to the point that like you didn't even hear the fact that we were telling you that we weren't that you were being trolled and that we weren't for that shit. Like it was to the point that we had to play the villain just so you could be this like moral paragon against bullying. That was the funniest thing about it.
I probably leaned into it for between 2 and 5 minutes, and now you made it sound like I sat there for 4 hours trying to describe why bullying is bad.
Well, you know, maybe not 4 hours, but maybe at least 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. We all got bored. Then we all got bored and started saying controversial shit.
What happened to Concrete? Like, not that I
don't ask. Happy about it.
It's been pretty good without him.
Yeah.
I agree.
Xerxes is a fucking idiot.
I argued with Tasteless on Twitter.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I can't even remember what it was about. I was making some very nuanced point, and he overshot it every time. And then like the last 5 messages I end with, when he coming back to Discord, and he didn't answer.
Seth, you motherfucker.
But it was good. It was good to argue with him on Twitter, though. I read it in his voice.
I absolutely fucking love Tasteless, though. I remember when he was talking to Tom, and he's like, I know that Tom is a bad person, but I'm agnostic as to whether Hitler was a bad person. Oh my god. It's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Brother Seth. Is that the guy who's been giving me shit?
Have I?
No, not you. Who's the black guy who's been giving me shit? I don't even know your name. I've never even asked. What's your name? Okay, now
I'm the black gentleman. Call me the black gentleman. I like that.
The black gentleman, Sydney Winston. Is that you?
No.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Sydney Winston is the South African sounding dude.
That's me. Yeah.
I got to learn more about you.
Oh, you will. I
remember Wolf. Remember that voice?
Oh my god, dude.
G+.
Remember that experiment?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like a decade.
I'm gonna go kill my Muslim friend.
Remember Matt Bell? Ooh.
I never ran across him or ran into him.
Oh my God.
Oh, well, you mean that guy that was paying to have kids get tortured for his own sick pleasure?
Yeah.
No. Oh, Matt Bell. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. That guy. That infamous
guy
Scottish
that's
pervert.
sitting in a Scottish prison.
Yeah.
Thank God.
So it's Wolf Z.
Maybe choked to death for what he did.
Yeah, he's to me he represents Christianity.
What a sick fuck.
All of Christianity should be put in the cell with Matthew Bell.
Yeah, his analogies for morality, like they all make sense now. He was very dark.
Mm-hmm. But he used to
I don't know how to feel about that. I feel like I'm pretty dark.
Yeah, but he used to give away all these little hints and clues by bringing up the subject all the time.
Yeah, like would you rape a kid in order to save like all of humanity and all that stuff? It's like, dude.
No, why is it immoral? Blah blah. You know.
I'm pretty sure like he brought up that scenario multiple times. I'm pretty sure if I find some old like clips, pretty sure if like that scenario comes up, like where basically you have no choice but to rape like a kid or all humanity dies.
Yeah, ridiculous stuff like that. I mean,
which was kind of fucked.
Who thinks up shit like that?
Apparently his sick ass.
I mean, not necessarily the raping kids part, but like hypotheticals on like would you violate X principle to save like all of humanity are pretty typical in like talking about morality.
Yeah, I have a lot of his archived stuff, and he's raw Christian all the way.
Oh yeah, apparently he sentenced for like a decade. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 9 years or something.
Feel like we're coming up at the end of that.
Well, will he get the whole 9 years, or does he get 2/3 or something like that? How does it work?
I think he's gonna get the whole 9 years because like his offenses were so egregious that he set a new precedent in Scotland.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna like try to like I almost for sure gonna use religion to try to get out early if there's any chance of corruption.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll work.
I think we've had that discussion about like that as an explanation for the disproportionate number of Christians in prison.
What was even more disgusting is that idiot G-Man actually tried to support him to defend like his actions.
Oh, did he?
Well, Christian will support a Christian.
But I mean, I'm not surprised. But I'm not surprised. Like G-Man also defended like Shenny and Rev like beating their kids.
Mm-hmm.
I heard. I mean, it almost feels like that Colorado shooter's dad, who when he was interviewed, said, "Oh, I heard he was in a gay bar. Thank God, he was just there to murder those people."
Yeah.
Paraphrased, of course.
We don't see too much of that kind around here anymore.
You know, they've kind of effed off into obscurity.
Who, G-Man?
Not well. I mean, not really.
I think I still see videos
Ragnarok
about him.
Where is Mr. Batman?
He's still on YouTube from time to time. You know?
Oh, Mr. Batman is still fucking in here. Jesus Christ, he's lost his mind. He's worse than he's ever been.
Oh man, but that's entertainment. Where is he? Call him in.
He's like a caricature of his old self.
I'm not gonna lie. When he was abusing like Otangelo, it was funny, but at the same time, it was kind of fucked.
Yeah, it's like watching like a retard. It's like watching a retard like argue with somebody.
Some people have put up little short.
Hold on. It's like.
Yeah, it's fucking the Democrats' pornography.
Mr. Batman. But does Mr. Batman get drunk online? Because he certainly sometimes sounds like he's
No, I think he's meds. I don't think he drinks. I think he's got really heavily medicated, and I think sometimes when he takes his meds, it fucks him up a little.
But he has
Really
to be
common.
online then. He has to actually come online knowing that, why?
Happen
Speaking
to
of
my mom all the
medication,
time.
I gotta take my ashwagandha.
Bro, ashwagandha's some chat.
Some people are prescribed medication, especially like psychotics, that when as soon as they take them, it's like a little bit of an over medication, and they're loopy for like an hour after.
The sedation effects on this shit feels so fucking good.
Well, I don't think Batman has been taking medication maybe up until recently, but in the beginning he doesn't. For 10 years,
Hold
he's
on.
been talking the same script.
No. You haven't. Maybe you haven't heard him recently.
I haven't.
He's like, remember when he get manic and like screamy? He's like that from the jump now.
So he's more entertaining
Like,
than
almost
ever.
the first thing. Almost the first thing he says when he gets in a room is, "Well, thank you, sir. Have a nice day. Thank you for playing."
Yeah, that's when he's lost the argument. That's what he
Joker.
says. He says that a lot.
Yeah, that's almost all he says now.
Yeah, exactly. For good reason.
It's like 50% of his vocabulary. Thank you for playing, sir. He's gay, right?
Oh yeah.
Like a Batman villain.
Oh yeah.
Like in the same way Lindsey Graham is probably gay, right?
No, he's gay in the way he's always been gay. He admits it. I mean, he's
Well, I
he's not
assume the
shy to
people that
admit it.
think Lindsey Graham is gay think that he was always gay.
What's Lindsey Graham got to do with it?
It's the same kind of manly, like in feminism, like they're this kind of southern daintiness that they both have.
Lindsey Graham?
Am I making any sense?
No. Not to
Are
me.
you saying like Lindsey Graham is acting gay like Mr. Batman?
Like the rumor is that like there are like prostitutes from his district, male prostitutes from his district that like say that he often goes for like trannies or whatever, but like when he likes to get his like ass eaten apparently, and apparently he's got like moles on his ass, and he calls them his little ladybugs, and I can imagine Lindsey Graham saying that.
It's
well,
possible.
that's not something I think.
I wouldn't put it past them. Like all these Republican politicians talk about how much they hate gay sex.
That's what I mean by this kind of southern daintiness, and I think Christian Hillbilly, Mr. Batman, has a touch of that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think he has a touch of it. I think he's slathered in it.
Yeah, that's great.
What? Did you look at the Lindsey Graham thing?
The ashwagandha, I'm feeling it now.
There's even, I think they go farther. I think they say he cross dresses, and I think he goes by the name like Ladybug or something. Wow, something weird.
I mean, J. Edgar Hoover was a faggot. This shit feels good.
I wonder if J. Edgar Hoover's grand nephews and nieces, or great grand nephews and nieces, participate in pride parades.
Hopefully.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they're transvestites too. They're not fucking up social movements. They kill this stupid ass Afghani once he gets back here.
It's kind of weird, Wolf.
Oh, what's up?
My two closest best friends in life both have one blood sibling each, and each of their siblings are trans.
Oh, cool. What, they're both trans women, or one of them trans men, or like what?
One of them is female to male, and he's he's very, very lefty. Very, very fucking lefty. And the other one is trans, male to female, and she's a fucking alt-righter.
You know,
Huh.
I've just
I really don't understand that mindset. Like, considering
No,
the fact
I-
that like alt-right don't like LGBT, it's kind of a
well,
strange phenomenon.
no, what it is that I've noticed that trans people tend to pick the extremes of the political spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a hot take. I'm about to be canceled. I'm actually preparing my foreign bank accounts for this.
My fingers on the trigger.
I think it's because they suffer from like a plethora of other mental issues.
Yeah, no, like that's got to be almost like very deducible, very, very empirical. That if you have one mental disorder, say like gender dysphoria, right, that you have some other mental disorder as well. The chances go up. I think.
I'm not even like memeing. I don't think I know. Like maybe with the exception of, but not even Claire. No, I don't know a single trans person on Discord who I would say has sensible political views. And I'm like a fair guy when it comes to that shit. Like I might lean center right, but if somebody's like a sensible person that's like a liberal or a Democrat, I'm not gonna like call them crazy.
Do I have sensible political views, Sam?
Yeah.
There you go.
I would probably use you as like the case example for like liberal with sensible political.
I thought I might.
But yeah, like
Way too wild for sensible.
It ranges from like Claire, who's like really right and says things like politics is all a meme. It's like run by like this cabal of like Jewish bankers and like shit like that.
Claire's fairly sensible for how radical she is. It's weird.
Yeah, she's a sensible person, but not politically. And then you have like Kathleen that said the government could spend an additional $80 trillion with no reasonable expectation of inflation. I'm just like, what is wrong with you? Like, what?
Remember, Claire, I couldn't talk to Claire. I mean, how many times we started talking about 9/11, and she just got so fucking upset.
What you think? Oh my god! Please tell me her fast don't think it's an inside job.
Yeah, she absolutely thinks that. Well, she thinks something hokey is going on. She thinks that a lot of stuff is, very inaccurate about the official story. The stuff that she brought up,
so stupid.
The stuff that she brought up, I saw some problems with. So I brought them up. Like, hey, well, don't you think that this might be inaccurate for this reason? I know a little bit about this, and she would just start over talking me, and she would justify her right to overtalk me because I was wrong. And I was like, look, we can't talk about this apparently.
I think one of you said that, like gender dysphoria or something. It's
dysphoria.
I mean, yeah, I think that's what was meant. But
did I say like, dysphoria?
Somebody did. But I was just gonna say that like they don't recognize it. Like trans is not like a diagnosable mental illness.
Trans isn't, but isn't gender dysphoria?
Yeah, but that's not. They would say that that's not what trans is, right? But a lot of these changes
I'm not saying it is. Hold on real quick. I'm not saying it is, but that's going to be, by and large, the vast majority of people who are trans because they have gender dysphoria.
I mean, what I'd really like to concentrate on, I'm somebody that appreciates good medical evidence, right? And I know how to read and evaluate randomized controlled trials, even though I don't have a formal education, right? And the thing is, like, that I'd really like answered, and I can't get a decent conversation with a lot of trans people, is what medical evidence are we leaning on here? Because the thing is that Centers for Medicare and Medicaid looked at this. They looked at the available evidence under the Obama administration, and they issued their memorandum, right? And they said, we are recommending against routine coverage for sex reassignment surgery. The NHS contracted with the University of Birmingham, reached the same exact position. At the end of the day, we have very little quality data for most things. When it comes to this issue, at that time, there was about 8 quality studies that you could really look at. Okay, the rest are garbage. They're not randomized controlled trials. They have small sample sizes. Even in these quote unquote quality studies, more than half of participants are lost to follow up. Okay, so in these best and largest studies that Medicare and Medicaid, that is their job, right? To evaluate things and issue recommendations. They said that there was highly conflicting data. It is not a clear picture whether sex reassignment surgery works. NHS came to a similar conclusion, recommended against routine coverage. So what are we doing here? Like, we need to have some quality evidence. We should not be, and across all areas of medicine, right? Vinny Prasad and his famous work, Reversals in Medicine, a decade of reversals, right? Where it's found that 30%, 40% of established medical practice is reversed, with cardiology being the biggest offender, right? There's so many things that we do that we did that we no longer do because we never had good data in the first place.
Well,
And if I hear another person online tell me that hormone replacement therapy doesn't carry any health consequences at all, that is not true now. We have some quality data in. The bone density loss is not great, okay, to say the least. We are.
Sorry, I apologize for cutting you off, but what you just said sounded very interesting. I'd like to hear more about it.
About what? The bone
You said about
density
the
loss?
bone
Talking about.
Yeah, the bone density loss.
Oh yeah, well, I don't know, a lot of people don't respect the New York Times anymore sometimes, including me, but the New York Times just published a article, which I'll post if there's a chat here, in a couple minutes so I can put down what I'm doing. I'm wolfing down a popsicle right now, but they just published an article called, I think it was hormone replacement therapy. They put a pause on puberty, but are there long-term health effects? And I think one of the most certain things that they found was that there is very serious bone density loss, which is kind of exactly what you'd expect given. So this is bioplausible is a term used in medicine, right? I'm not a doctor or anything, but where this is almost exactly what you'd expect from giving somebody a bunch of these hormones. It alters their development. And what's the common narrative is that this bone density loss is reversed as soon as you go off, so it's not a big deal. That is not the case. That is not the case. And I'll post that article.
Yeah, if you don't mind popping into the speakeasy chat, that'd be amazing. I'd love to read more about that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sydney, I don't know if you're in the room, but my friends and I were watching your video of Batman screaming at the gay pride thing. We were looking all over for that, so I'm glad we could find it. The only place we could find it was on Sydney's channel.
Oh, I have an exclusive, do I?
I don't think I caught that correctly. You said he's screaming at what?
Mr. Batman was screaming at a gay pride, or I think a megaphone or something. He had a megaphone. He was, and then the weirdest thing happened where a man draped in a hijab made out of a trans flag approached him and said, "I'm a Muslim." And I somehow didn't believe him. I mean, obviously I don't believe him, but it was just, I don't know why that part's relevant, but that kind of blew my, I was like, what is going on here? Is this person really Muslim? And they have a hijab and a trans flag. I was like, that is so interesting. I'd never seen anything like that before. Popping the archive link in so that you guys can actually read it if you don't have, because I'm assuming, like me, you don't have a New York Times subscription, so.
Fortunately, my school gave me one, so I should be able to.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, if you want to plug in the title, then I think you'll be able to find it. But I'll post it in the Speakeasy chat, the archive one. So.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I definitely have more learning to do on this issue, and I kind of only skimmed the article, so maybe it doesn't say what I did, but I thought that I found it in there clearly talking about, but I haven't looked at the actual research myself, to be clear. So.
Okay, so you're just basing it off of the article, not the Okay.
The first part of what I said about the sex reassignment surgery, that I have looked into, I'd say quite a bit. The hormone replacement therapy, I haven't. I think it was this part, but there is emerging evidence of potential harm from using blockers, according to reviews of scientific papers and interviews with more than 50 doctors and academic experts around the world. The drugs suppress estrogen and testosterone, but also affect the bones, the brain, and other parts of the body. Okay, so there's some observational studies, which are, a good starting place, but yeah, I guess the Mayo Clinic, which I recommend if you have a serious health problem that you really want taken care of well, go to the Mayo Clinic in Rochester. I've never experienced anything like it before or since. So I really recommend that place, but yeah, do indeed provide valuable time. I guess the NHS has now proposed restricting the use of drugs for trans use to research settings, and Sweden and Finland are also limiting the treatment on minors. But we don't have any policy here against. There's also a great article in the Washington Post, which I'm gonna put, called "How We're Failing Trans Kids," and it's written by a transgender woman who actually is on the board for guidelines for the World Trans Youth, whatever, in medical thing, and the other one opened the first pediatric trans clinic in the United States. So these are like not anti-trans people, but basically the crux of that article was that a bunch of therapists don't see, obviously, a lot of trans youth. So when they get one, it's immediately it's seen through some kind of political lens rather than patient, therapeutic relationship. And it's an opportunity for them to show how progressive and woke they are, instead of treating the person as a person. And so they are neglecting their duty to do something called gender exploration therapy, which is to actually go through with the person and figure out, is this what's really going on? Is there something else going on? You know, that kind of thing. And eventually what they're doing is they just write a referral to the clinic, and then these people who run the clinic are sending them back going, go do your job. You didn't do any significant gender exploration therapy. We are not accepting this referral. This is not an opportunity for you to show how woke you are. You know, this is a person, a patient, client, whatever you want to call them, and you need to actually do your job and not just, you know, gender affirm, right? That's what's kind of been going on. Trans youth. Let's go.
Boy, these volume controls aren't that easy. That's better. Okay, welcome everybody to the new Reason Speak. Hello. Let me get some light. There we go. Alright, I don't have the graphics and the visuals all set up, but let's just go with what we got. I'll tell you what, let's do this. There we go. I think that'll look better. Alright, so I was looking at the BBC News, which I do regularly. I look for news on the BBC. And, you know, every now and again you find something that is actually newsworthy, like this one here. I would like to do something that makes this a lot. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So here it is, BBC, and the headline is Thai monks failed drug tests, leaving temple empty. What's going on here? So let's go have a look. Now listen to this. This is why religion poisons everything. It just fails horribly. I just want to make sure that we're not losing everybody here. Okay. So let's have a read. A small Buddhist temple in Thailand has been left without any monks after they were all dismissed for failing drug tests, local officials have said. 4 monks, including the abbot, tested positive for methamphetamine in the northern province of Phetchabun, an official told news agency AFP. Boon Lord Thintaptai said the monks were subsequently sent to a health clinic to undergo drug rehabilitation. The raid comes amid a national campaign to tackle drug trafficking. The monks were reportedly removed from the temple after police administered urine tests on Monday, which saw all 4 men fail. Officials did not say what had brought the temple to the attention of police. Mr. Tintaptai told AFP that the temple is now empty of monks and nearby villagers are concerned they cannot do any merit making. I want to talk about this merit making thing. Now, merit making is an important Buddhist practice where worshippers gain a protective force through good deeds. In this case, by giving food to monks. Mr. Tintaptai said that regional officials had sought the assistance of the local monastic chief, who had promised to assign some new monks to the temple in the Bangsamphan region in a bid to address the concerns of worshippers. In recent years, methamphetamine has become a major issue in Thailand, with seizures of the drug reaching an all-time high in 2021, according to the UN's Office on Drugs and Crime. Why would they have an office on drugs and crime? I don't understand this. If drugs are not a crime, then why have an office for drugs? Why don't you just have an office for crime? Or office on crime? And include drugs in there if you really have to. Anyway, the country is a major transit point for methamphetamine. The drugs flood into the country from Myanmar, the world's biggest producer of methamphetamine via Laos. Laos. The pills are then sold on the street with a value of around 50 baht, $1.40, or £1 and 17 pennies. Last month, Thai Prime Minister Prayuth Chan-o-cha ordered a clampdown on drugs after a former police officer who had been dismissed from the force for methamphetamine possession killed 37 people during a shooting at a nursery. All this because of Buddhism. So let me just understand this here. Okay, so a Buddhist practice is merit making. Now, nearby villages to the temple, to the Buddhist temple, were concerned that they couldn't go and do merit making, in other words, good deeds at the temple, because there's no monks, and the good deeds are to feed the monks. And somehow the monks are getting money for methamphetamines, which they take while being fed for free, and the cops were alerted to this somehow, and now the monks were arrested, which gave the villagers some concern, because now they wouldn't be able to. It just is. It's insane. So yeah, religion poisons everything. So yeah, I just want to explain a little bit about. Let me just. Let me just nuke this here. Yeah, all right. So, yes, I wanted to tell you that Reason Speak is back. Reason Speak was a show that I ran weekly, every Thursday, I believe, on a YouTube channel called Secular TV. Secular TV pretty much disbanded after a row between founders and whatnot, which I have nothing to do with. But anyway, it folded, it disbanded. I'm pretty sure the actual YouTube channel is still up, and I had control of it, or I have control of it, and I've taken everything, all the videos down. However, the Reason Speak videos that I kept going for all of 2015 and probably half of 2016 before the channel disbanded, or the people in the channel, some of them didn't like each other anymore for some reason or other, politics or what, I don't know what it was, but anyway, it stopped. So what I did was I took all those videos and I served them to my YouTube channel every day until they were all served up, which completed about a week ago. So I'm thinking I'm going to resurrect Reason Speak, and instead of weekly, like every Thursday, which I used to have Reason Speak on, I'm maybe going to think it's going to be just daily. As far as time is concerned, I'm really considering like noon till 3 my time, Pacific Standard Time, on a daily basis. I'm playing with that. I might even just try that and see how that goes. So today is actually the first day of the first time I've actually spread the Reason Speak word out that we're back. The way it's going to work is it's going to be both on Discord and on Google Meet, which is where we are right now. If you want to join the chat, it's the one in the description. I think I have it in the description. Let me double check. No, I don't. I should put it in there. I'm going to put it in there. All right. So, okay. So the join link is in the description, and that'll be every time or every day when we go live. So it took me an hour and a half to get that out. No, just kidding. The first bit was just a little bit of listening to some people talk, and the goal, of course, is to have the Reason Speak up and running, which is a conversation room, perhaps with guests, with co-hosts, with just me, however it works out. Every day. Weekends will probably be a good time to watch us live, I guess, because most of those that usually join me are available only on the weekends. So yeah, so having said that, there's not one hell of a excuse me. That's funny. Oops. All right. So having said that, I'm gonna end it here. Okay. because I don't have shit together right now, okay? So there we go. Thank you for watching. Let's get the music on to... yeah, I need more screens is what I need. And I also need glasses so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. This will take you out.